Hello, it's me, Troubadour, and I'm back again with another video. Today we're in the Customs Arena trying out some of the new changes. You can already see one right there. The duck has 2 HP instead of 3. I actually kind of like that change. Duck was pretty insane. I still think it's pretty solid take. But anyway, in today's video, we're going to be using a brand new pet they just introduced into the Golden Pack, but only as a custom exclusive pet. You'll see it here in a turn or so, but it is the Hermit Crab. Now, the Hermit Crab, I'll explain a little more how it works, but the Hermit Crab, along with some other things, have been floating around the test server for a while, and it's cool that they finally, added it to the game. And there's some other changes for Golden Pack and like Puppy Pack and stuff that they're still working on in the meantime, but it's cool that we got a little something already. I did a members only video trying some of the other changes, like with Bear being in the Golden Pack and stuff like that. That was super fun. So yeah, definitely enjoying the new golden changes. I'm excited to see what else they do. And we like the balance changes as well, especially with Bird of Paradise being a trigger limit of 3, because that like doesn't affect Golden Pack at all, but it makes it not broken in custom. So yeah, really cool changes. Excited to see what they do next. Now, the Hermit Crab, there it is. So how it works, I don't know if I hover over it here during the battle. Maybe I'll do it once I actually have a perk on it. So basically at the start of battle, it will copy its perk to the Golden Retriever whenever it's summoned. So basically if my Hermit Crab has a garlic, then when the Golden Retriever is summoned, it will have a garlic as well. But for the Golden Retriever, it can only copy a tier 2 or lower perk at level 1. And then at level 2, it's a tier 4 or lower. And then at level 3, you can copy a tier 6 or lower perk. So now that I'm level 2, you can see I hover it right there. It's going to copy to the Golden Retriever. Now, important thing to note, it doesn't have to survive. It's not like the Golden Retriever is summoned and then it's given the garlic. At the start of battle, it's given the garlic, and then it doesn't matter what happens to the Hermit Crab after that. So you don't need to keep your Hermit Crab in the back or anything like that. So there you go. Also, it's a little change to garlic there. Garlic, now, oh, it's Yoguru. Take that. Garlic is now changed so that the damage reduction can't go below 2. So it's still pretty darn good early, but it's not so freaking broken and crazy strong on pets on like camel and stuff like that early. Also, dude, that fruit fly totally destroyed that swan there, getting rid of the lime. Another perk. It's kind of like the new garlic. It's like a tier 2, reduces all damage by 1 every time you get hit. So pretty cool. And yeah, so in the meantime, we're just kind of statting it up, getting some levels. A little bit slower in the shop speed. I'm playing around with the new speed settings in the replays, just trying to figure out what I like. I feel like the fastest thing is too fast for me, but then the regular fast forward is now too slow. I don't know. Even on 200% speed, it still seems to be that way. But I think I eventually switched battle speed to 150. We're bringing the bonobo here. And let me talk about the synergy we're going. We're not just running the Hermit Crab. There's a very specific build idea I want to do that was inspired actually by Infected Player. So Infected Player, not long after the Danger Pack came out, which if y'all don't know Infected Player, please subscribe to him. He makes a lot of really cool content. Also, speaking of creators, look, it's Amsa. Let's go, Amsa. Another creator, streamer, makes really good content, and I watch him a lot to learn a lot of versus stuff too. But this idea comes from Infected. It's doing cocoa beans with fruit fly. So cocoa beans transforms you into exact copy of a random enemy, and if the enemy has blueberry, it'll guarantee that is the pet you transform into. Infected used fruit fly, cocoa beans to guarantee copying certain pets. Also, we face Gyarados here, so I don't get to show the synergy quite yet because, we don't get to give him, or I guess we give him the blueberry because the churros, but we don't get to give any perk to the, with the Hermit Crab. But yeah, I want to do something similar, and that is give the Golden Retriever the cocoa beans and have it copy whatever the fruit fly snipes once it's summoned. So we use a fruit fly at the front to give, hopefully, usually people put their biggest pet up front like this. Look at this. We're going to set him to blueberry, summon the retriever, and then it turns into an exact copy, and literally that is the reason we win. Oh man, so yeah, super fun. Had a lot of fun doing this. Now, I will say, this was the day this replay was recorded the day the update came out, so the player pool is still filling in. It was later in the afternoon, so it'd been some time. It wasn't like my members only video yesterday where it'd been 2 hours since the patch came out. It'd been a little bit of time. but still it is a little bit easier than it could have been. That one there, we actually get rid of the blueberry pet, so it just randomly copies an enemy instead. Face Amsa again. Shoutouts to Amsa once more. Excited to see what content Amsa's cooking up with this new update. But yeah, that's basically the build. We get Blueberry onto a big unit. We summon the Golden Retriever quickly with the Patagonian Mara. And then because of the Hermit Crab, it gets the Cocoa Beans and hopefully transforms into their strongest unit, and that'll help us trade. Look at this. We face a level 3 giant Warthog, and look at that. Now I am the giant Warthog. Now the one thing Cocoa Beans does not copy is level. So as you notice there, my Warthog was level 1 since the Golden Retriever was level 1 when summoned. So that means it's not quite as effective. Now there's ways you can get around that. Like say I have a level 3 pet with Cocoa Beans, like I could do that. But yeah, this is kind of the synergy we're going for. Now this one's funny. Face a Swordfish. Yeah, we're not gonna be able to copy the Blueberry unit when there is no Swordfish. And of all the pets we could copy with Cocoa Beans, we copy the weakest pet on the enemy team, but it ends up not mattering because Behemoth is really good and they haven't adjusted White Ochre yet. And yeah, that is basically going to be the end of the run. I'm gonna reposition here because it took me until this point in the replay when I was first playing to realize that Hermit Crab is start of turn or start a battle, so it doesn't need to survive. So let me have it copy something instead of copying something and trading like it did with that lobster. And look at this, we face a Mandrake that's gonna ruin my Patagonian Mara, but we still get to have our Cocoa Beaned Hermit Crab copy their Stonefish, and then our big Behemoths are going to clean up the rest. And yeah, that's my level 3 Hermit Crab achievement and a pretty cool run to boot. If you want to try this pack yourself, I'll have it in the description below. But that is going to be it from me today. Thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the generic stuff. I'll catch you guys in the next video. But until then, as always, stay true.